First of all, I want you guys to take a moment to look around this hall. We all are here present physically, but some part of our mind is absent. Where is it? It's at the moment hooked on to a system which never sleeps, which never locks off. It's the same system which is rewiring our minds in the way we think, in the way we feel, and in the way we interact. Yes, that's what I'm going to speak about is the world of always being online. We are right now in a hyper-connected digital world which never lets us sleep. You're always online, right? When I say always online, that basically means at the moment, there are more than 6 billion people who are connected to the internet, and more than 5.5 billion people connected to the social media. You know what that means? More than 70% of the human population is currently hooked on to the system called internet, which is a great thing, right? Because we will be able to interact with people across the world in a span of few seconds at our fingertips. That's a fabulous era to live in. But often we don't speak about the setbacks of the same system which is bringing us all together, uh, the darker undercurrent where our average youth are spending more than 6 to 7 hours a day on the same internet. It's just not screen time, it's actually a significant chunk of our lifetime. And this dark undercurrent is not just impacting our day to day operations, but is also creating a divide in our society, creating a mental havoc in terms of our anxiety and mental health, at the same time, tragically causing loss of lives as well. I'm going to take this platform today to shed some light onto the ongoing scams, which is getting a huge, I would say, transformation as our digital world is also getting transformed. When I spoke about 70% of the human population currently connected to the internet, it didn't happen over a period of a large amount of time. It just happened in a span of few years, possibly 10 years, if I have to be very precise. Why did that happen? Well, how come all of a sudden we could get connected to the internet or to our mobile devices? It's because of the affordability. Everybody could afford this sort of a technology, which was easy to implement, easy to adopt. But often we forget, in terms of this adoption, there is a prime generation, which is our senior citizens, who were never exposed to this digital world, also started accessing this internet or through the phone devices, right? So they were starting to get exposed to a new world where they were never been exposed to. And that led to the cause of digital arrest. That's something which might be new for a lot of you guys, but let me shed some light into it. Imagine you're going to have a peaceful dinner with your family, and all of a sudden, you get a phone call. It's a phone call, video call from an unknown number. The odds are that you're curious. We all like to pick up, right? We want to understand who's the other person. Imagine you pick that phone. Rather than seeing a person, you would see actually an office of a law enforcement. It's actually a police station. There's actually a police officer sitting at the other side. Your anxiety shoots up. You're unclear what's happening. And then the police officer speaks, saying that, hey, you know what? You're under digital arrest. You're like, what? That's when he starting showing up some sort of like document saying that you are part of a major money laundering scam. You're part of a drug scam which is happening. And he actually produces the documents which clearly shows your involvement in that. These documents look very exactly all the similar details what you are with your personal identity, right? Everything is into that documentation. You are shocked. And then the officer is going to say that the law enforcement are on their way to arrest you. You are under severe panic, and that is going to fuel the confidence of the scammer who actually is mimicking as a police officer. And what happens? The police officer is going to make a deal saying that, you know what, I can drop these charges against you if you pay me this sort of money. The odds are we will all pay it. Why? Because we live in a world of fear. We don't want our reputation to be damaged. We don't breathe, we don't think, we just make the movement and we actually transfer the money. But does it stop at that moment? No. Actually, the exploitation starts from there. The constant harassment of actually transferring more money till all your resources are depleted, that's when you realize you're actually being conned by this fake police officer who was never a police officer, right? It might sound ridiculous for you whether it's actually happening. Well, let me give you a stat. At the moment, since 2022, more than $300 million has been ripped off from people because of this digital scam. It is not just about the money, but also the lives lost. I would like to give a incident from my home state in India where an elderly couple lost their lifetime savings and out of shame, the elderly couple committed suicide. This is serious. We are losing people out of this. Well, if you might think that, is it only going to be impacting the senior citizens? No. We all have we all play games, right? We all love games. Especially the teenagers who are addicted to games like Roblox. I'm sure many of you have heard of Roblox, right? It's the most played game in the world at the moment. Do you know that these games are also becoming a breeding ground for radical extremism at the moment? The terrorist organizations are actually spreading hate and silently influencing our youngsters into conducting activities which the society should never expect a kid to be doing. Well, it's serious. Again, for the reason that think about the long-term repercussions of this, because a young mind is being brainwashed at the starting of his career, or where the kid is playing the games day in and day out. Imagine what is going to be the impact of it on the long-term aspects. Well, so far, these scammers were actually anonymous. They were not having a face or a voice. But you know what? It's 2025. These scammers have got a face, these scammers have got a voice, and a behavior as well. And guess who are these scammers? It's each one of us. Each one of us are scammers. You know how? Deepfakes. We all have heard of deepfakes, right? The same AI technology, which was supposed to revolutionize our lives, are now under the hands of the same scammers who are going to utilize it to turn against you. Now, you might ask me, what is the impact of this? You will be caught in a scam, or you will be caught in a crime which you never committed, but you are part of it now. Why? Because it's extremely difficult to disprove that it's not you, because it exactly looks like you. It hardly takes 3 to 5 seconds to actually mimic your voice. I wish I could have shown you a video of how I mimic my own voice in a very, very scary way, but for some other day. Well, at the end of the day, I would say that after this deepfakes, what you see and what you hear is not what actually it is right now. And now, we are at that tipping point where these sort of technologies, which is supposed to help you, is going to transform the way the scams are conducted. And we are at the start of it. And I would like to mention some of the major scams which you should be aware of. The pig butchering scam. This is the scam which is causing havoc in our society in terms of, if I have to speak about the economic impact, this is a scam conducted by people who are actually part of the human trafficking, sitting in countries where there's no law and order and lack of governance like Myanmar and Cambodia, conning people left and right over the period of time, and the impact of this is more than $75 billion. Let me repeat, $75 billion. And does it stop there? No. The same people whom we trust are creating videos of like deepfake, revenge porn, or even doxing. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of doxing. This is a way of harassing people by sharing your personal details on the internet, where you get constantly bombarded, trolled by people, unknown people on the internet. Well, you might ask me, why is it increasing? What is happening? Why all of a sudden are we seeing a rise of these scams? It's because the technology is outpacing our regulations. We are creating a generations who are digitally awake but not digitally aware. The same technology today is turning against us and is resulting in anxiety, is resulting in depression. People are going through insomnia. At the end of the day, even people are having suicidal thoughts. Now, why can't we stop it? A simple thing. It's because it's a multi-layered pyramid. The people who are conducting these scams are spread all across the world. And it is not possible to catch hold of everybody. Even if you catch hold of some segment of this pyramid, it is very unlikely that you would be able to reach out to the top, the kingpins who are conducting this sort of scam. What is the second aspect of it? It's a transnational scam. If there is somebody who's getting scammed in Netherlands, but the scammer is based in Cambodia, the officials wouldn't be able to do anything at the moment because that's not under their jurisdiction. And we are not, our law enforcements are not even enabled to handle such sort of scams at the moment. Though some actions have been taken to fix that, but it's still at the early stages. Another major issue is the crypto tracing, because all these sort of scams happen through the crypto trading. As a result, it's extremely difficult to trace it. But more than that, all these numbers which I provided, like 300 million or 75 billion, it's only the reported ones. There's a vast majority of cases which have gone underreported because it's because of the shame. Nobody likes to accept that, hey, you know what, I got scammed. I actually clicked on this link. I actually spoke to some random stranger and I lost my money. Why? It's because of the fear of judgment. We believe that if we share it with somebody, they're going to judge us. They're going to laugh at us. Why? We all seen that, right? We all think that if somebody got scammed, it's like, how stupid are you? But let me tell you, I have been scammed as well. I have lost my own money in one of these scams. I'm a cybersecurity expert, but if somebody can scam me, con me, I'm sure you all guys can be a part of it as well, right? At the end of the day, what is the impact of this overall? Is it just the economic impact? No. It's the erosion of trust in our society. We all trust each other. If you are taking a flight, you trust the pilot. You are taking a metro, you trust the drivers, right? We all trust each other on some of the activities, most of the activities in our day-to-day life. If this keeps happening more and more, we would lose the trust in our society, and that's going to break the backbone of how we operate. Now you might ask me, what is the solution for this? What can we do? Before I get into the actual solution, first thing is breathe. Don't rush. Don't panic. But it's easy to be said, but the only solution today we can do is being stronger together. The same technology which is breaking us can bring us together. It's got the power. Only thing we need to do is come together and work on a common solution, be it creating awareness. Big tech companies building algorithms to make sure that deep fake is being eliminated. Governments bringing regulations, and our law enforcement being compassionate in handling the cases where people have lost the money. Because at the end of the day, they have lost their lifetime savings, which is a matter of huge concern. The only weapon we have got against this scam at the moment is awareness. And at this stage, from Amsterdam, I want to make a call for action today, that today when you sit with your family for your dinner or with your friends, when you're having your drink with your friends, make sure to educate at least one person and bring awareness that this is an ongoing menace, and the only way we can do it is making sure that all our people are digitally aware, not just digitally awake. And your role is extremely important in this fight between truth and lies, but I'm super confident that at the end of the day, truth always prevails, and it's only because if you take action, because security is nothing without you. Thank you.